Welcome back now to Careers Advice and an author who says we must realise we all have our own personal brand to sell. Veronica Canning tells us how to create and develop our own personal brand in this new book called Your Brand. And she's here with me in studio this morning. Veronica, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Does everybody have a brand? There's the first question.
Yes, everybody has a personal brand. The problem is some people don't actually realise they have a personal brand. And I call that a person who has an accidental personal brand rather than a purposeful one.
Okay.
So the whole book is to have you understand you do have a personal brand, and you really would be better if you had a purposeful one in order to further your career.
Is it much easier for people who have the accidental one in that they're just stumbling along through life and it happens to be working in their favour?
Yes, except I think at one stage it stops to work. And I'll give you an example. Somebody who is either an accountant or a lawyer and they're doing very well, they get to a certain point, they work very hard, and then there's a change, a crossroads. Either they're put in front of more people or they get to deal with more senior clients. And at that stage, being technically good is no longer enough. Having a personal brand, i.e. having good communication skills, empathy, being able to read people now suddenly becomes more important than your technical ability.
And for people who need to develop it,
yes.
How do you make them aware that this is what I presume what you're doing is you're saying to them, this is what your big skills are, sell them.
Well, it is that. It's based on a person being good at their job, but I think I define a personal brand as what they say about you when you leave the room.
Okay.
So it's not what you think your personal brand is, it's what other people think your personal brand is. And so for somebody who's ambitious in their career, clearly there are people who define their career, their boss, major clients, they really say about you. And so it would be rather foolish, I believe, to ignore that. And it's based on my considerable experience of working with people who will come and say to me, I've stalled. I'm very good at my job. I work very hard. And I say to them, well, actually what's happened there is you've got the good worker syndrome. Put your head down, you work very hard, and you think they'll notice. But actually they don't notice. Because if you think of a big company, the talent spotters look across the company, don't they? And they say, who stands out? Who just works very hard but doesn't exhibit something special?
So how do you get that person to be able to brand themselves? What are the steps to doing that?
Well, the first, in the book, there's 8 steps. But the very first step, and it's fundamental, is to know yourself. And the reason I find that so important is because you don't want to build a fake brand. You want it to be authentic to you.
Okay.
And I'm amazed how people don't really know themselves. They'll say to me, Veronica, I'm a very straightforward person. I just say it as it is. And I say, well, how's that going for you? Because you really can't just be saying it as it is to people. But the steps are know yourself, find out what other people think, and then progressively build up. And finally, position yourself. So you're in a company, look at the matrix that you find yourself in. There may be somebody very important who has an influence over your career, and you could be ignoring them or actually disappointing them.
And when you look, well, is there a danger that you look inside yourself, you look at what other people are thinking about you, and suddenly you become this person completely fearful of everybody, and it actually goes against you in a way?
No, I've never had that experience.
Doesn't happen,
No, I've always had the experience that people will have an aha moment, and they will say, for example, I haven't been promoted, and we would explore what the issue is. And it could be that perhaps they're results-driven people, and that's what matters to them. And so, therefore, to their employees, they're just results-driven. They drive them and drive them and drive them. And then you say, well, look at the staff turnover. People are going like this because they don't want to work with you. So when they discover that, that doesn't make them fearful. That makes them, right.
Wake up.
Right. So, and then I would see that person now going on to the next step in their career because they've actually removed what was a career derailer from the equation.
It's very interesting, isn't it? But the first point you say, look inside yourself.
And then look at what well, you obviously can't hear what they're saying
No.
when they go out the door. Sometimes, thankfully.
But you've got to know yourself.
But you've got
what
to
it
know
is, yeah.
what they are saying about you.
Right, okay. Veronica Canning, the book is Your Brand. I'll just hold it up there once again. That's the front cover. It's on
Yes.
release from today. Advance your career by building a personal brand. Thanks very much indeed
Thank
for
you
that
very
and
much.
bringing your experience to us.
Thank you.